Oh, misfire.
What's the title?
The title, we're going to call it, I don't know, just it's the exact same stuff as kind of yesterday, so maybe just continued. It's just more complex numbers. The difference is today we're going to add and subtract them and multiply them. So, let's go over this. So if I have this, so we're going to start off with adding and subtracting complex numbers. So if I have 2 minus 5i plus 5 minus 3i, and I'm not going to spend a ton of time on adding and subtracting. Cerise mask, Derek mask. Who else do I have to get after? Everyone else? Anybody? Noah mask. Just kidding, man. Okay, so we have this. This is, so if we're going to add together complex numbers, the first thing is get rid of the parentheses. Just like how when we added polynomials, we had to get rid of the parentheses. We're going to get rid of the parentheses again. So what we're going to do first is get rid of the parentheses, and then we just combine together like terms. So 2 plus 5 is 7. Negative 5i minus 3i is negative 8i. And there would be your solution. Now, the things I want to point out to you that are extremely important. First, make sure you're combining like terms. You can't combine stuff unless it is like terms. The second thing is, your answer has to be written like this. If you guys remember yesterday when you guys defined complex numbers, a lot of you guys got that thing that said a plus bi, right? This is why it has to be written like this. If you write it negative 8i plus 7, it's wrong. Complex numbers has to be written in that form. Okay? So it has to be written in that form. So if we have a problem like this, 3 minus 4i minus, let me write it again. 3 minus 4i minus 6 minus 2i.
Does it always have to be a minus 4i or minus 2i? What if it's like a plus?
It's fine.
4i?
Nothing changes.
Would it just be 9?
So it doesn't matter what any of these signs are. The only difference is if this middle sign's a negative, we have to do something different. Yeah, we got to distribute that negative to the next two terms. So when we do that, we're going to get 3 minus 4i minus 6 plus 2i. So if the middle sign between the two complex numbers is a negative, we have to then distribute it to the next two terms. So we get 3, now we have 3 minus 6, which is negative 3. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2i, and that would be your solution. Okay, so, question?
Yeah, so if the sign between the two is negative,
You have to distribute that negative to these two just like that. To make a negative 6 and a positive 2i. If the sign's a positive, nothing changes. Just like this one, you just treat it the exact same. All you're going to do is get rid of parentheses and combine like terms. If the sign between them is a negative, you're then going to distribute that negative through. Okay, questions so far? That's actually the easiest part of this. Anybody have any questions on that? I'm going to go on and multiplying if everyone's good. Okay, all we do is combine like terms. Okay, here we go, multiplying. So this is multiplying complex numbers. So if I have negative 4 plus 2i, negative 5 plus 5i. Okay, someone raise their hand and tell me how I'm going to do this. Cerise, what do you think? Okay, what's it called? Yeah, we're going to foil this. How do you know we're going to foil this? You can see it. What? How do I know I'm going to foil this? Does anyone know? It's a binomial times a binomial. If you ever have a binomial times a binomial, you're going to foil. So we're going to foil this. Everyone ready? So negative 4 times a negative 5 is a positive 20. Negative 4 times 5i is negative 20i. 2i times a negative 5 is negative 10i. And 2i times 5i is positive 10i squared. And everyone here should be very, very comfortable by now with foiling, even if it's i's or x's or w's, whatever it is.
So if it's the 10i squared, you have to divide that by 4. Or no?
What are you saying, divide by 4?
Oh wait, never mind. I was just thinking like how you have the I to the 60.
So you're actually onto the right track here. He actually is thinking right now, and you actually are onto the right thing. There's a couple things we have to do differently. What do we have to do next? Can someone raise their hand and tell me what I have to do next? Preston? Okay, so we combine together the like terms. We combine together the two middle terms, but we're still not done actually. I want to see if someone can figure out what we got to do. Hold on, Preston, you answered the last one. Case, what do we got to do?
Don't you have to do something with the 2? Divide
Okay, so yeah, we got to do something with here. What do we have to do?
by 4?
Good idea though. You're on it.
Divide everything by 4?
Nope.
Times it by 4?
Nope, there's no 4.
Negative 1.
Oh, P-Dog got it. Hey, what does I squared equal? What does I squared equal?
Negative 1.
-1. So what we're going to do is anytime you see I squared, you have to change it to a -1. Anytime you see I squared, you have to change it to a -1. Well, no, now we have to simplify it farther. So now we're going to have 10 times a -1 is a -10. And now look, now we can combine more to make positive 10 minus 30i, and there would be your answer. Now let me ask you a question. If you write it like this, is this right? Absolutely not. It's not written in complex number form. It has to be written 10 minus 30i. Okay, I'm going to let you guys try one of these on your own. I'm happy that some of you guys are able to see that I squared. Remember, I squared equals -1 no matter what. And as we go throughout, especially tomorrow, when we hit part 3 of this, you have to know that I squared equals -1.
Would we have anything on our homework that it could be like
I cubed?
I cubed?
No, not yet. That happens. You hit I cubed and I to the 4th in Math 3 more. This year is all about I squared. Okay, here we go. We're going to try this one on our own. -2 plus 5i. -5 plus 3i. Go for it. Okay, here we go. We ready, or we got a little bit longer? Okay, another 30 seconds I'll give you. that right or wrong? You just have my head. I've turned the corner. Alright, here we go. First things first, negative 2 times a negative 5, which is a positive 10. Negative 2 times 3i is negative 6i. 5i times a negative 5 is negative 25i. 5i plus 3i is positive 15i squared. Hopefully you all foiled right. That's something we've done now for a long time. Next up, I'm going to start simplifying this. So 10 minus 31i minus 15. How I got the negative 15? I went 15 times the negative 1. I squared equals negative 1, right, Lane? Okay, so 10 minus 15 is negative 5 minus 31i. Who got it right? Hey, your assignment's going up on Alex. That's it. Adding, subtracting, multiplying,